Hey everybody, Dave Hagan here. Did you have a successful holiday? Well, a lot of you are thinking, Dave, it's not over yet. Well, I'll explain to you what my thinking is today on the Financial Wellness Podcast.
Welcome to the Financial Wellness Podcast, Dave's weekly message to keep you on your path to the financial success. Here is your host, financial problem solver and talk show host, Dave Hagan.
Thank you, Nick, and welcome everybody to the Financial Wellness Podcast, or the TFWP, as we like to call it. This is the fourth episode during the month of December, where we're talking about the holidays, but more importantly, do you know what this episode is, Brian?
I don't.
It's our 100th podcast.
What? 100?
100 episodes. Hard to believe.
Wow.
Yeah, I was going to bring in like a little gold trophy or something for you. You'd probably rather have a cup of coffee. But 100 episodes. Who would have thought when we started this out about 2 years ago that we'd have 100 times that we've sat down here and talked about financial wellness over the past 2 years.
Look at that.
Pretty
and they
cool.
said it would never last.
So true, so true. So this podcast is going to drop right before the holidays. This year it looks like Hanukkah, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and Kwanzaa all happen in 4 successive days. That's kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we'll do it all in 1 week, and then we'll just be so worn out for the new year, But we put together a series of podcasts this year, and we really had a progression or a thought process that we wanted to talk about. In episode 247, we talked about creating a holiday plan, and we talked about creating a calendar so that you don't get overcommitted and that you have time to enjoy and recharge your battery. We also talked about putting together a gift plan, not a budget, but a gift plan, so you spend within your plan and look for more meaningful and perhaps alternative types of gifts. The next episode in the holiday season, episode 248, just 2 weeks ago, we talked about maximizing your holiday experience, ways to minimize stress to stay healthy, and ways to maximize your enjoyment of the holiday season to sharpen your saw. As always, this stuff relates back to financial wellness. Last week in episode 249, we were talking about tips for gift giving and how to stay on plan for the season. And this week, with Christmas just a couple of days away, it's almost time to ask, how did it go? How did your holiday season go? I mean, think about it. The holidays in the next couple of days, the bulk of the season's already behind us. It's time to start reflecting and going, wow, how did it go? Did you create a plan? Did you do any of this? Did it at least modify some of your thinking during the holiday season? Did it creep into your thinking at all? Did these podcasts make it any less stressful? Any more enjoyable? What was particularly good? What was particularly bad? Is there anything you want to change for next year? Time to start reflecting, even though the holiday is, the formal holiday isn't upon us. Oh, and by the way, in case anyone was wondering, in the studio today with me, Mr. Brian Reid.
Thanks, Dave. Good to be here as always.
For those of you that are wondering, that applause was in his contract. Twice a year we have to have applause when we introduce him. So I don't know, Brian, the holiday season is on us or almost over. Maybe ready to start evaluating. What do you think?
Since it's still technically in front of us, it's almost as if some of the craziness has already passed.
Yeah.
All of the shopping and the traffic and the people and the planning and the preparing. And I think it's a great idea to, right before the actual holiday happens, the day of, happens, to take stock of what you've just been through and make sure you're focused and centered to, truly enjoy what these holidays are supposed to be about.
Yeah. Yeah, start to catalog and think about those memories, because you'll take them with you, all your life. I remember one of my most favorite holiday memories, interesting holiday memories. We were at a holiday party for my wife's business, and it was at the Friars Club in Hollywood, which was a pretty big deal back in the day. Friars Club, and Frank and Sammy and Dean and all those guys would hang out there, and so we actually got to go to the Friars Club, and a little long into the night, everyone had been enjoying their drinks that had a little something mixed in, and there was this like stairway, and at the bottom of the stairway there was like a little indoor garden. And this one lady had, maybe had a few too many. She was leaning on the railway, and all of a sudden we were standing around on the first floor, and all of a sudden we hear this big thump. And this lady fell down like a hole down the middle of this thing and landed in the garden, and totally smashed out this poor plant. The plant was done, and it made an impression on me, like
beware of holiday parties.
Beware of holiday parties. Be cool, And when I see people, years later, just last year I was talking to somebody about this, and we were talking. They said, you were at the Friars Club. Yeah, remember when that gal? Yeah, and the poor plant. These are cherished holiday memories that we think about, So it's time to start putting those together. Time to pause and catalog the memories, and certainly enjoy the days that are coming by, but start to evaluate what we've done.
And don't forget, you still have time to make changes. Refocus yourself. Let go of all the craziness and just have a good day.
Just kick back and watch a little something on TV, some sports or some parades or whatever. And
got to shake off all the craziness and get down to what the holiday season really is about.
Yeah,
it's all about love.
So true. And if there's stuff that you don't like, make a note of that and go, hey, I ain't going to do that again.
Not doing that next year.
Ain't going to the Friars Club and watch people dive bombing off a stairway. Too much. We're going to end early so that you can walk off by yourself somewhere and pause and refresh and recollect. Think about your holiday season and enjoy it. No emails today. Go off and spend a little time and reflect. This is Dave Hagan, and you've been listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast.
You've been listening to the Financial Wellness Podcast, Dave's weekly message to keep you on your path to financial success. If you have a question that you would like Dave to answer on the podcast, go to thefinancialwellnesspodcast.com. You can leave an audio message with one click of a button, or type your message into the question box. Either way, it's sent right to Dave's phone. Remember, Dave will randomly draw from the submitted questions and pick the winner of a free 1-hour personal conversation with Dave to help you achieve your financial goals. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you receive the new episode notifications, or share the podcast via the app with your family and friends. This is your announcer, Nick Appel, wishing you every financial success.